Welcome to Inside Looks, where we give you an inside experience of our music to enhance your listening pleasure. I'm classical guitarist Darren Curtis Skanson.
And I'm acoustic guitarist GREGG Hansen. And together we are
Skanson and
Hansen. With 100 years of combined experience, that's 2 whole lifetimes of playing music, we are masters of musical arranging.
Today we are presenting our arrangement called the Noel Bell, which is a combination of the famous classical piece Canon in D by Johann Pachelbel and the famous Christmas piece, The First Noel. As in all of our duets, the first step is to learn it as solo fingerstyle guitarists. Now, fortunately, I had already done this. I had already had an arrangement of Canon in D and The First Noel. So that really helped because so I didn't have to explore the key or how to translate it to the neck of the guitar. The key kind of chose itself, right?
Right. Yeah, it chose us. So we were already done with that part.
Already done
Key
with
of
that
D,
part.
and we put it in that drop D tuning where we tune our low E string down to a D.
Correct. Next, we come together and we answer our primary questions. Number 1, do we play the songs as they are in their traditional form, genre, feel, or do we take the songs and take them to a different genre or feel? Say, play The First Noel as a country song, or the famous Canon in D, like, I don't know, a thrash metal song?
Hey, we need to work on that. I like that idea. And then question number 2, do we take a fast song and turn it into a slow one, or do we take a slow one and turn it into a fast one, or do we keep the original tempo? In this case...
Well, we kind of kept it in the original because the canon is so recognizable that we kept it pretty much right in that.
Not to mention we
wheelhouse.
already had it worked up, too.
Exactly.
Okay.
Next, there are some interesting features in this arrangement that we'd like to point out to you. Point number 1 is the intro. Years ago, my mom told me that the chords to Canon in D actually worked over the top of The First Noel. So we decided to explore putting the 2 songs together. Somewhere in the music business, they call this a mashup. Actually, though, putting 2 songs together is one arrangement technique that Skanson Hansen has been doing for years. So it was a no-brainer for us. Since the chords to Canon in D are the common factor, we decided to start the whole arrangement with the Canon in D. Here's how that intro sounds.
Now, if we played that at a gig, just that much, we'd already be having to answer 2 questions. Number 1, which CD is that on? Number 2, you guys do weddings?
Exactly.
That is how famous or how recognizable those chords are like that. So, on with the arrangement here. Point number 2, superimpose. We're now going to take the melody of the First Noel and we're going to put it on top of those chords from the Canon of D. This was going to cause a surprise element because we're actually going to go into the First Noel from those chords of the Canon in D. One of our favorite tools in our arranging tool belt is that element of surprise. However, we got the surprise in this case because, well, the harmony worked great, but the First Noel is in a waltz timing or a 3-beat, and the Canon in D is in a 4-beat. So we had a bit of a problem.
It's a bit of a sticky wicket, that one.
Yeah, yes, it is, indeed. Turn your hat back around. Okay. But after some fiddling, we were able to change the melody of the First Noel to a 4/4, from a 3/4 to a 4/4 by stretching the melody out. Let's show them how we did that.
A waltz timing is in 3. You'll feel the 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Ba ba ba
2,
da
3,
da da
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
etc.
3. But in 4 timing, stretching it out, it's 1, 2, 3,
Ba da da
1, 2, 3,
da
4,
da da da
1, 2, 3,
da
4,
da
1, 2, 3, 4,
da
1, 2,
etc.
3.
So we stretched that melody out by 1 beat.
Yep.
And voila, the 2 songs complemented each other beautifully. Here's how they work together. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm playing the Canon chords.
And I'm playing the melody of the first Noel. And point number 3, the mashup. We're going to play both of these songs at the same time. That's what...
Both songs at the same time.
Yeah?
You can't play 2 songs at the same time, you nitwit. Just muck it up.
Are you having a flashback from when we were in London?
Aye.
You know, it reminds me of how well you fit in with the locals while we were there.
I certainly did.
Okay. So, well, maybe that might muck it up, but while putting the first Noel melody on top of the Canon and D chords, that was very cool how we made that work, stretching that melody out, and that was very cool. But playing both of the songs using our double fingerstyle technique, where we play both melody, chords, and bass at the same time, that would be cool.
That would be crazy, I think.
Well, yep.
On the first pass, Greg plays the first Noel fingerstyle, and then simultaneously, I play the famous faster passage of Canon and D fingerstyle. 2 melodies, bass, chords, all together at the same time. Amazingly, it worked really well. But just to keep it even more interesting, the next time around, we swapped parts.
Every time you say to keep it more interesting, I get scared. But you know, that's something we do a lot. We're actually getting kind of famous for that.
Yep.
So after swapping 4 times, we both go back into the Canon and D together at the end for a big, exciting ending. So we'll end with a boom or a bang. Or should I say a bell?
That's what we played at the beginning of this video, if you want to check that out.
So to recap these 3 points of interest. Number 1, the intro. The surprise intro of going into the chords of the Canon and D.
Point number 2, superimpose the melody of the first Noel on top over the chords to Canon and D.
And point number 3, the mashup, where we put both songs together. We're playing them at the same time in our double fingerstyle technique. Bass, chords, and melody all at the same time.
Blimey. Before we play that whole crazy fingerstyle Noel Bell outro for you, thanks for watching. And we hope this inside look into the Noel Bell arrangement enhances your Skanson Hansen listening experience. To help us create more inside looks, output more live videos, stream our recorded music, and continue making new music, please subscribe to the Skanson Hansen channel on YouTube and support us on Patreon.
For only $5 a month, you can get all of our music streamed there, as well as impromptu videos and previews of videos just like this. So that's on patreon.com/Skanson Hansen. Skanson Hansen all being one word. Patreon.com/Skanson Hansen.
That's right. I'm classical guitarist Darren Curtis Skanson.
And I'm acoustic guitarist Greg Hansen. And together we are
Skanson and
Hansen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Christmas, everybody.
And a happy holiday.